Welcome to ChaoticCalling Streaming. My name is Starwind, and tonight is our Trails to the Pass, Elsparia. And joining me tonight as we go on this lovely adventure in the wonderful place of Julian Cove, we have Christopher.
Sea unicorns. Absurd.
We have Kronk.
Good evening.
We have Arthur.
I'm back.
We have Jack.
Howdy.
And we have Vol eating jerky until she gets here. So, yeah. So we've gambled with the Quintessa. We offered to have our bag embroidered by the Quintessa's finest weaver. And that is that. That was the whole point of meeting with them, right? That was that. Interesting. Also some spooks because of the Quintessa's lead organization's woman is capable of seeing ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, somebody's being haunted now thanks to a draw from the deck of many things. Isn't that right, Arthur?
Yep.
Yep. And with that, you are seeing images of, what was her name again? Just so that the audience can hear it.
Agatha.
Agatha, that's right. And, you know, it was just for a brief moment. You had a little bit of a freak out. You chased down this ghost that you thought you saw. Vol catches up, trying to console you, trying to figure it out with you. Returning back to the group, basically we are going to be heading to the Southern Isles after making a deal with Nona, Captain Nona, who will be leading you guys on a ship cruise. But for now, she tells you go ahead and meet her at the break of dawn. So that left you to deal with any errands you needed to run. Shopping was done, I believe. We've had some fun at the tavern. We've met a sketchy old man. And I'll still be up here swinging them drinks back. Ooh, doggy. And you guys spent your time at the tavern, and we had some self-discovery, perhaps is a safe term, maybe. I don't know. But I believe we are still within the evening hours, and as Vol just kind of like turns off and goes into beef jerky mode, the rest of you are here in the tavern, and you just witness the Quintessa rushing this one sailor up the stairs and kind of like surrounding him up the stairs. You guys are currently wherever you want to be in this moment. Like at the moment, you guys are at a table from what I could tell. But if you guys want to find out more, you're more than welcome to. Oh, also, I think Boris was waiting for you, right, Christopher?
Oh yeah, he was making his return back to Boris after his conversation with Bull. Yeah.
You know what? Naming characters actually helps me remember why they were there. So yeah. The evening is
Whatever
still...
happened to Jefferson, by the way?
Eventually, he just disappeared and went back to where he came from because that session is technically over, so he was no longer needed.
I wasn't sure if we actually wrote him out or not.
Yeah, I mean, he might be around town. I'll think about it. But for now, he just kind of like split off from the party. Perhaps returning from whence he came. But yeah, what would you guys like to do? I believe Shella turned in for the night. Sure is noisy downstairs.
Oh. Arthur, after seeing somebody being taken upstairs, slowly sets his drink down.
Mm-hmm.
Swallow what he has in his mouth. And kind of just sigh. I'm going to go take care of that real quick. As he just kind of pulls the hood up, and he's just going to start following.
Okay.
Kronk will follow.
Oh, Croc. you go into stealth mode, but Croc is like coming back with a sippy cup and watching. No, I don't know. Are you being quiet about
Kronk
it,
is
Croc?
simply following the buddy system.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? That's true. Gronk, are you being as quiet as Arthur or no?
Um,
I mean, I already think that's a no, but quiet enough, I guess, supposing. A 13's not too bad. But Arthur, if
Arthur.
you want to make a stealth check as well, we can see how quietly you're making it up the stairs before Gronk reveals you.
I mean, Arthur's invisible, so.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you got that lovely cloak. That's true. Yep. So go ahead and roll with advantage. I mean, you still make footprints or sound.
what the fuck is that an 18? I'll look into that in a second. 26.
Yeah, you're very quiet. But Gronk, you kind of lost track of him because I forgot he has a cloak of invisibility, right?
I got my sword. I got true sight.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god, you guys are fucking. Oh god, there's just too much shit in this game now. I don't know what to do with myself. So yeah, you could see him as clear as day. So Gronk is following you, and he can see you, and you're just being extra quiet. And as you kind of like come up into the situation, you can hear the lead lady just. You can hear Shang going, "I know you have my money, and you should probably pay it post haste." Yeah, about that. I was going to come right over after I got off the ship, but you see, I'm a little short this week. Ah, a little short. Yes, just like the rest of the dwarves I see. Always a little short. And then this one guy who's like a wizard just kind of like puts a arm on the sailor's shoulder and then points a finger in his face and a little flame flickers off. And she just kind of like proceeds with, I wonder how short you're gonna be without that beard of yours. Anything but the beard. I suppose you better hurry up and find a way to pay me back then, huh? And unless there's anything else you want to hear here, it kind of like goes into the system.
Arthur, is this behind a closed door? Or...
No, they're just upstairs. Close to that sketchy old man that nobody found. You can still see Dorian looking for him. Where is that old codger at? Yeah, you'll never find me, old dork. Oh shit.
Arthur will, once he kind of hears a little bit, but he's going to quietly step up. Now, torture wasn't my favorite method, but I appreciate that it's the only way to get this done. However, how much is this man's debt?
Wait, where is that voice coming from? Seize it. Do you reveal yourself? Because I didn't hear you on cloak.
Nope. After hearing that, he is not
Yeah. Everybody's like visibly looking for you, trying to figure out where you're at. But a 26 keeps you kind of hidden, though your voice is kind of like revealing your almost location.
At that, he's going to shift to the other side of her. It's a simple question, really. How much is this man's debt?
This faint voice seems familiar. I think I've met you already once. This poor innocent soul has taken out 100 gold for a loan, and now it's time to pay back. Now he owes us 300 gold because he keeps falling behind, isn't that right? I almost got it. I swear I almost got it. I heard that last week when you owed us 200 gold.
As he just kind of sighs, opens up the bag of holding. 1, 2, 3. As he just kind of starts counting out 30 platinum.
You hear that mumbling. I have no idea what that is or why it's even happening. I hear change. Where is that coming from? Everybody's in a panic because they don't know where this noise is coming from. They don't know where your voice is coming from. You sound like you're paying his debt, but they can't see you. So, like, what are you doing? Like, you got these guys spooked. They're looking for you.
Kronk's just leaning against the wall.
Yeah, they can see Gronk, but you're not the one doing the talking, right? So, go ahead.
As he kind of pulls out 30 platinum, immediately he kind of just gets really close to Zhangju's face and then just kind of drops the hood, holds
That's
out
a little
30
too
platinum.
close. So now the question becomes, why are you paying this man's debt?
To be honest, I'm not quite sure.
Sounds like
Back
it's
to the starting-
too good of a deal for him.
Everybody needs help sometimes.
Well, would you look at that, my friend? And she kind of like pulls on the dwarf's beard. Looks like you've got some help tonight. Alright, boys, it seems that this man's debt has been settled. Be careful next time you take out a loan and decide not to pay it, will you? Yes, ma'am. Hey, oh my god, thank you so much. Absolutely, ma'am. Yeah. And she kind of like snaps her fingers. The guys kind of like fall away. The guy who is holding the dwarf by the shoulder kind of like brings the flame closer to his beard and he goes, ah! And then he walks away. That was close, guys. And unless you guys do anything to prevent it, they will leave.
Arthur's not that insane. But he is
She
going to go up to
will...
the dwarf once they're gone.
I will say that before she leaves, she will definitely turn to you and be like, I will remember this. Don't think letting certain people off of their debts is a good deed. So get what you need out of him. But I will remember this. And then she'll walk away.
As soon as she is definitely out of earshot, he's just gonna mumble, only not a good deed when they don't learn their goddamn lesson.
A lesson? Yeah, I know my lesson. My lesson's been learned. Don't need to be borrowing money from people like that. That's right. Yep. Nope. Not me. Not never gonna buy anything that expensive ever again. Yep. And here's that dwarf that was kind of in the sinkhole. If you guys want to be over here visually, so we can. Here we go. I'll drag you over. Yeah, right. That. What? Calm down. There's no potatoes on this dwarf.
Damn it. As he just kind of just pats him on the shoulder. Good. Because I'm not gonna be here every time to bail you out.
I
I'll stick-
didn't. I don't know what to say, man. Like, what do I owe you? I mean, should I? You want the money, don't you? You want it back, right?
No, just the
What?
next time someone needs
Wait,
help or finds himself in the same situation, do what you can to help.
Give me a persuasion check. Let's see if we can make a ripple out of this.
Plus 11.
Nice. I will. I'll do just that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Apparently, Christopher is running all of his ambitions through chat today. But this dwarf behind your words seems to be taking it in and definitely has intentions of following through with what you requested.
Savor your night.
Yeah, you guys as well. I mean, you're both lifesavers. I thought for sure my knees were gone. And unless you guys have anything else to say to him, he'll scurry to the bar and get a drink. Because he's in desperate need of one.
Yeah, but as they walk back, he is going to make a comment of, really just don't like seeing people get kicked around and tortured for money. Or too much of that already. Drink. That sounds good.
Yeah, Vol's over there chewing on her jerky, nodding, shaking her head, yeah. Hmm. What would the rest of you like to do?
Jack is gonna finish writing a few notes on a piece of paper, put it all away, and notice the dwarves and the captain over the corner. Well, I'm assuming I can see her.
Yeah, let me go ahead and paint the picture for you. Like, in the interim, the captain has strolled in, and her crew kind of, like, noticed, and she kind of, like, set up a table for her and some of her closest mates to kind of, like, start drinking.
Alright, then he's gonna get up and just gonna stroll on over.
Okay.
They're gonna be able to sail this much drinking.
And they kind of, like, all turn to you like you're nuts. You do realize we don't sail without drinking, right? Arr.
Just making sure you're not a bunch of lightweights.
Oh, and let's see, you're not?
Of course
Captain.
not.
Alright, hand over the good shit, she calls over to the barkeep. And 4 tankards are brought over. And then she goes, should I draw you in on this as well? You want to drink with us tonight?
I sure do, and he will move himself to sit next to the captain. Because of course he does.
Of course he does. Because he doesn't care about consequences. First, roll me a persuasion.
Right. Yeah. 3.
So she looks disgusted at your attempt to come over and take a seat, but she rolls her eyes. She has another drink brought over, and she's like, all right, everybody, drink up. And they all kick him back and start drinking. And you get one as well.
All right.
And this person's going to have to wait till 10:30 now.
Con save?
Yes. Sorry.
That's right. Soft 20.
You're good for now. And I'm about to see how good all these guys are. This is just me rolling the dice. The added modifiers will be added on the side. Captain's good. First mate's good. Second mate's looking pretty bad. And the third mate just falls out. So this guy goes out unconscious, and the others just kind of like make fun of him. Lightweight. And you too managed to stay in the game. And she just kind of like looks over at you. She's like, see, you got a stronger stomach than most. And another round is poured.
As if I don't play this for fun.
As if, right?
Mm.
So the question becomes, how many are you going to try to take? Because they don't stop.
Yeah, he's gonna just try to beat the captain. That's his main goal.
All right, well, roll again.
I'm going to... I absolutely want to buy myself advantage for this.
Well, you gotta... Oh, yeah, you might want to do that.
Yeah.
She's perfectly fine. Her first mate finally goes... Oh, God, the rest of her crew finally knocks out. All right, Jack, you wasting your channel points on drinking games as usual. This is definitely the par.
It
Go for it.
tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, it tracks.
23.
Still in it. She kind of like leers at you with these bloodshot eyes. It's like, so, still in it, huh?
Yeah. Honestly, this feels kind of weak. But whatever.
You're right. You know what? Let's switch it up. And she calls out for the bootlicker. And then 2 tall flagons of bootlicker is handed off. And she kind of like raises the glass, clinks it against yours. Down the hatch.
I'm going to Flash of Genius. We got a 26.
And I'm going to use a lucky. Okay.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Is it? It is.
Yeah.
She is wasted beyond, and she too eventually joins her crew. You have consumed quite a bit, though. What does Flash of Genius get you to? Because your DC is definitely high now.
It was up to 26.
26.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the DC would have been around 24, 25, somewhere around there. So yeah, you're still good. Barely.
All
Like,
right.
I'm not gonna say it's no consequences. Like,
Yeah.
if you wind up doing ability checks or anything that requires you to be cognitive, then they're gonna be at disadvantage.
Oh, understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are sloshed, but still conscious.
All right. Hey, barkeep, does this lady have a room available?
Oh no, they usually sleep down here until the next day anyway.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start kind of pushing some of the dwarfish like hands and heads out of the way to give her a bit more room. And then if she has a coat, or if one of the dwarves has a clean coat, he will drape it over her.
Yeah, she's got one of those petty jackets that she has.
If it's not already on her, he'll just kind of lay it on her like a blanket.
Fair enough.
And then he's just gonna get up, or when she wakes up, let her know I beat her ass. Okay.
Well, I'm sure she'll know about it first thing in the morning, hon. You have a good one.
You too. Join the rest of the table.
Hey,
Oh boy.
hey, Frick.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back.
Hey, I saw back there. You know.
Sorry about that. We are back from that little interruption of a break. My apologies. Had to deal with some real life issues there for a second, and I might need to break again, but we'll see what we can do beforehand. Ah, Jack, we were putting her to rest, so to speak, and you rejoined the party. So what would the rest of you like to do at this point?
And unicorns have natural healing properties, which is why they've been sought after by many
yeah.
individuals.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want the horn for myself or anything. I just want to see him and pet him and stuff.
I'm sure they'll appreciate the difference.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past some of my mates, though. They'd probably want to tear that horn off like it was a treasure or trophy and all.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. But you know what? If it's just me and we get to go see him, that'd be great. I'd really like that. But leave my mates out of it.
So, oh, Jack, what on earth happened to you?
Drinking game. Captain and the crew were lightweights. It just gestures back toward the other table.
So, are you sure you should be standing right now?
I'm sitting, I think. Oh, I'm still standing. Let me get sitting in the feet. Yep, there we go. He's just slumps into a chair. It's just good.
Oh dear.
Oh, boss, I'm still having trouble finding that old man. Ow! That's my head! No, Shell is upstairs sleeping. Leave her out of this. Alright, so what's next, guys? I know you got nighttime shenanigans, or we could just go into a long rest, whatever you want to do here.
So it probably would be for the best for just looking about that side of the room where they're knocked out. At the very least, perhaps we should be well rested just to be sure.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Although, Kronk, if you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate your help with something real quick.
I would love to help.
Thank you. About the matter of earlier.
Any way I can help.
Hell, this is gonna be no real easy way to just outright say it. If you'll recall something about Dead coming back and all that. Basically, I just want to double check everything, make sure. Would you mind helping me on the matter of, I believe that's called a scry on someone?
I can do my best. I have not done it many times.
Alright, as you kind just immediately looks around. Actually, privacy might be better.
We can go to our room if you wish.
That would be good. Also, maybe figure out which rooms are ours. As he kind of just gets up. Oh, key.
Hi. Or who has keys? Did we buy keys? I don't remember.
We bought keys.
Okay, somebody's got them.
So, Vol purchased and handed them out.
Here we go. And you get your key.
Alright.
And I'm
And-
assuming you guys can't see anything, or...
Nope, not yet.
Can't
alright.
see shit.
Let me fix that. There you go. And there might be another setting I need to fix too. Boop. Boop. There you go. Pick your room. Yeah, that's the stairs coming up from downstairs. I'll put Shella in one of these single rooms over here. There's a room of 4 there, or... yeah, there you go, that'll work. So the two of you make your way up the stairs to a room that has been assigned for you for the night. What would you like to do?
As he's just going to sigh very deeply. Look at
Pillow
Kronk.
fight. No.
And then he's going to snap his fingers and turn into the exact visage of Agatha.
Question. Are you showing her as you remember her last, or pristine? Like, tell me what this visage looks like. Does she look wounded, or is she in perfect health?
So the form he is taking right now is that of a complete as of last remembered. So before all of the
Okay.
things of being burned alive.
Okay. Fair enough. Alright, Karak, you have a visage of what she looks like.
Kronk will bring out his pot and get this good old college try.
Okay, good. As the scrying commences, do you keep the form, or do you switch back to Arthur?
He'll keep the form until it's all said and done.
About 3 minutes into the scrying, you could swear you hear whimpering. Only Arthur hears this.
He immediately pokes his head up, just kind of listening even deeper.
As you kind of turn towards this bed, you can almost see like a faded image of someone sitting there. It doesn't look like it's a full visage of somebody you can identify, but you definitely get like the back of hairs on the back of your neck kind of like prickling as you kind of get a sensation of who it actually might be. The whimpering definitely sounds like Agatha.
As he kind of just tries to reach out, hands shaking, just... hello? Are you alright?
She stares up for a moment, and just as quickly as you reach out, she just kind of like disappears in a puff of smoke. Meanwhile, Kronk is busy with his cauldron. How does this work for you, Kronk? Like, tell me how you're using this cauldron as a scrying tool.
I kind of figure Kronk's just kind of looking into the bottom of it, and that's how he sees his images, I guess.
So yeah, he's just deep gazing. That's what he's doing, right? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Through the power of maple bacon, you peer through the pot. You spend 3 minutes at first, and then you hear Arthur in the background just kind of reacting to something. Though you stay on course, you stay focused. As your halo and wings, I don't know if you have a halo, maybe you have a halo, I don't know, I don't care. As your wings kind of like flutter behind your shell, you gaze into this pot, and the only thing you can clearly see is the perfect water to create the perfect stew. The scry itself has no effect. You cannot locate the person that was shown to you.
Yet, I do not see anything.
Though if we had potatoes... No.
As he kind of just is staring at the bed, almost speechless. Can't be, no.
I do not know if the person is not around or if the spell did not work.
He just kind of says nothing as he just sits on the bed. And kind of just after a deep sigh, I feared as much. He's been dead a while. As he kind of snaps his fingers and turns back to Arthur.
the sensation of something being around goes away.
I'm sorry we could not find them.
No, it's alright. I knew it was a long shot, and just thank you for helping. As he just kind of pats him on the head, and from there he's just gonna lay down.
Okay. Anything else you want to do, Kronk?
No, I think Kronk will also hit the hay.
Alright, then I will... I think I can return here. Is this where everybody is? No, this isn't where... I must be this one. Bless you. Alright, and what about the rest of you? As my phone will not stop beeping.
It just keeps going. Beep, beep, I'm a sheep.
Alright.
But at the very least, Christopher will say like, so will you be all right for this evening, Boris?
Oh, yeah. Oh, crap. It looks like the captain and the boys had a little too much to drink. And he kind of sighs. It's kind of like my job to make sure that they get taken care of and stuff like that. I guess I should get to work, huh? I mean, they're not going anywhere.
So is there a place that you would normally take them when they've been in this condition? Or
Oh, no. Like, I leave them put, but I make sure that they're comfy, so I go grab pillows and stuff like that. Yeah, we usually hang out down here until, morning, and, since you and your crew kind of like were told at the break of dawn, right?
yes, I do believe that was the phrasing used.
Judging by tonight, maybe the break of 12:30 might be more accurate, so don't be surprised if it's not gonna happen right away.
But I suppose that's quite all right. After all, we were working off of your schedule anyway.
I mean, she might wake up at the break of dawn, but judging by how quickly she knocked those back, but yeah. I really did. Oh, sorry. I interrupted.
Oh, you go ahead.
I was just going to comment that I enjoyed our little discussion about them unicorns, and I really do look forward to seeing them if I get a chance.
So, well, who knows, I suppose. But if nothing, I mean, I don't expect to see them on the open ocean, but then again, I've seen weirder things.
Oh, well, that would be a
Most
blessing if we
certainly
could
in
see them.
Corinthia.
Trying to tell them this. They will leave me alone. I'll aim for 8 to take a break so I can deal with that. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, well, I look forward to seeing you on the ship and all, and like I said, I better get to work. And he kind of like stands up and pulls out a rucksack that's next to him, and it seems to have like bedding material. Always come prepared. Anything you want to say before he takes his leave for now, just to take care of them?
So, you're awfully very thoughtful and considerate.
Oh, it's nothing. I mean, they would have had somebody else do it, but the captain kind of trusts me that I won't do anything shady whenever, But anyway, then I better get to work.
Alright, so will I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening for whatever it is?
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you for the conversation, and, if you're not busy when I get done here, I mean, we could talk more, but I better get to work, though.
So, you know what? If you would like to talk more and I'm still cognizant, this is my room number.
Oh, absolutely. I'll come tap on the door. We can finish our discussion about them lovely unicorns. On the ocean, you say? That I've never seen that.
Well, I haven't either, but now that someone's put the thought in my head.
Yeah. And now that they're on the random table, too. And Boris takes the rucksack and just kind of like puts a half blanket over the other guys that are kind of like without clothing, or, you know, not without covers and such. And then he kind of like pulls one of their heads up, slides a pillow underneath his cheek, and does the same for the others.
Yeah, with that, Christopher will go up to his room for the evening.
Jack, give me a perception check.
Disadvantage. Yes or no?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do a disadvantage.
15.
So as he's like putting the pillow underneath her chin, you could swear you saw her move, or her hair kind of like slide off her scalp for a minute, and he kind of like readjusts it.
Squid hair. Let's get to sleep. Let me get to my room. And then he puts his key into like some chicken. This door won't open.
And she kind of like takes you by the shoulder, still chewing on her jerky, says, "This way." So everybody turns to their rooms for the evening, correct? Oh.
Yeah. Jack, as soon as Vol guides him to his room, he's just gonna face plant into the bed.
I think this was the map we were using. Yeah, here we go. Feel free to pick a room, everybody. So Shella's here. You guys are kind of like taking single rooms, it looks like. All right. Yeah, Vol shoves you into that room, and then I'll go grab Vol's character and drag her somewhere. Yeah, of course. Christopher has a bigger room than anybody. All right. Is there anything you guys are doing before you turn in for the night? Then, without further ado, the night starts to progress, and then eventually, Christopher, you hear at the door a slight tapping. Tap, tap, tap. On the door.
Christopher will open the door.
You said, come on up here if you're not busy, right? You
Yes,
weren't
of course.
You weren't sleeping or anything, were you? Like, I didn't wake you or anything. I know it took me a bit. Nevermore.
No, not particularly. Unlike some of my other compatriots, I wasn't quite as much tired as the others.
Oh, well, I would love to hear more about them unicorns and those long horns and the shiny little fur that they have.
Yes, of course. Come right in.
Yeah. Oh, you got one of the fancy rooms. That's nice. That's real nice.
Well, this just happened to be the room that Vol gave me, so...
Is Dorian with you too, by the way?
I get the feeling that, I guess it kind of depends. I don't think Dorian would be the type to give up on trying to find that man.
I mean, that's fair, right? I mean, you didn't give him any further commands, right?
No, not particularly.
It'll be hell and high water, boss, but I'll find him. Where are you at? I hear you. But yeah. Alright, so yeah, you're just here with Boris, and I don't know, like, is there anything that you're trying to achieve with this evening with Boris, or just casual conversation for the rest of the night?
So it's largely casual conversation, and it's like, especially if he hadn't um arranged his own room for the evening, like he would let him stay in it since apparently it's much bigger than he thought it was.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to impose, but yeah, you're right. It is kind of big, ain't it? Yeah, I could just go ahead and take this here. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like whenever we dock, we save our money, and usually the people downstairs just let us crash in the front, and that's kind of like the captain's way of doing things, But since you're offering, a bed would definitely. Wow, I haven't been on a bed in a while. I've been on a cot that's been floating around left to right all over on the sea, and it's good to be on land every now and then.
So yes, well, it's certainly. Oh dear, you really spent all that time not in a bed?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the little hammocks that we got, it's not all that bad. I mean, it's kind of like being rocked in a cradle sometimes. Like Leviathan's just coming over there and just cradling you right to sleep until she decides to have a wild storm. Then she wakes the fuck out of you. It's them are the days, right?
Oh, that's very endearing, but also very alarming at the same time.
It's just the way of the sea, I'm afraid. I mean, hopefully it won't be that rough whenever you guys come aboard and we head to the Southern Isles.
So, well, I've only gone seafaring once, and it had mixed results.
As the DM also flashes back to the lovely food that was delivered.
Incidentally, upon the ship, you have a trained chef, don't you?
I mean, trained as anybody who can cook good, yeah.
So just being sure.
I mean, we haven't had any food poisoning incidents in about a month or two. I mean, it was just like
sickness,
food poisoning.
correct?
Yeah. Like, could have been eating too much, or maybe the food went a little off kilter. I don't think it was the chef's fault.
So then, for example, no one has died from consuming any of the foods that your chef has prepared?
I mean, there was several people who felt like they were going to, but they lived. Bunch of crybabies, what they were.
So, well, I suppose I would prefer near death than actual death.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's an adventure. Like I said, it's been a couple months.
So, but at some point, if you're going to be traveling around on land, I have to introduce you to something with a threat count larger than 100.
A what? A threat count larger than... Oh, thread count. I thought you said threat. I was like, wait, what? What's a thread count?
Oh dear, and Christopher will probably spend maybe the rest of the evening before they go to sleep, just giving him a glimpse of the life he grew up at.
Oh God, yeah. Give me a persuasion, and this is just kind of like to round out how this conversation's taking place for Boris.
Okay.
No,
I'm
Arthur.
re-rolling that because I don't want this to be a boring conversation.
Come on, this is exact. I mean, he goes right to sleep as soon as you mention the full effects of the thread count.
Oh God.
No, go. That was my original idea. I was like, if he rolls low, then that's what happens. Like, he was enthused, and then he just kind of fell asleep. But since we're gonna re-roll this,
I would have been fine if it was literally anything but a natural one.
Oh, yeah,
I
go for it.
would have been fine with literally anything else.
All right, let's see what else you get. 15. A little bit
That's
better.
literally anything else.
That is literally anything else. So yeah, I mean, he is enthralled with your story, and he definitely chimes in with annotations where he thinks he's comparing something similar, but it's nowhere near it. Like, this guy has lived a rough life, right? But, you know, he looks at the bright side of everything, and he looks at the bright side of your life, and he's very impressed of where you came from and what you've been through, or how much of this you wish to share with him of that nature. Like, I don't know, like, do you tell him that, oh yeah, my mom's not actually my mom, or stuff like that? Like, what's the meat and potatoes of this conversation?
I imagine that eventually Boris might ask, "Is like, wow, then what are you doing adventuring around like this?" And that would probably be the lead into that. Probably not into like the nitty gritty, but
Mm-hmm.
like the super nitty gritty. Powerful witch and all that. But
Oh yeah,
uh,
my mom's not just a bitch, but a powerful witch. Yeah, she's not even my mom. Can you believe that? But yeah,
like he probably would have summarized that particular part as then things happened and I decided to go about on my own with my traveling companions.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's never dreamed of having all that happen to me. Like, all I get is thrown around on a ship and make sure the captain has a pillow under her head and making sure the ship doesn't sail off course whenever things go a little awry. But you know, that's just life. Got to keep things on course, right?
Yes, I've come to realize that we all have our roles in life and that the best thing that we can do is choose the role that best suits what we're looking for in life, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I believe in that. That sounds really nice. Well, good night. How many threads are in this again? Gets ready for bed there. Didn't realize you had to count them. No.
Oh god.
At any rate, let's take a look at the tavern floor real quick. As you want to pull up Dorian's character sheet real quick?
Oh, just making a roll.
Yeah. You want to roll me an investigation for good old Dorian? He's gonna take one more look around for this sketchy old man.
Oh, investigation or perception?
Yeah, perception will work too.
No.
It's not today. So eventually, like, Dorian finds himself sitting at the very table where this old man has just been kind of like hiding behind a flagon, and he's like, huh, could have sworn that guy was around here somewhere. I keep hearing his voice. Yep, he's gotta be here somewhere, but just don't see him anywhere. Hey, you, have you seen a guy who... Oh, no, I don't think I've seen him anywhere. Alright. And Dorian flies off. The endless search continues.
Although, in fairness, if
yeah.
wait, was he literally talking with him?
Yeah, but he didn't realize that was him.
I demand an inside deception.
All right, give me an insight, and I'll roll deception here. Let's go this far. Okay. No. He's like, all right, well, whatever. I gotta go look for this guy. It's gonna bother me if I don't find him. And he flies off. Meanwhile, Dorian just kind of like perches atop of a one of those banisters at the top, just kind of like looming over, just looking down, trying to figure things out. Arthur, are you back? I think that's a no. Because out of everybody here, Arthur's the only one who doesn't get a peaceful long rest. Now, I say peaceful. He has nightmares. He He starts beating up, he starts sweating, and he definitely sees Agatha in his dreams, reliving that moment over and over again. And, you know, occasionally waking up, breaking out in sweat, and then eventually trying to lay back down, trying to push the thought away so he can get back to sleep, so he can be rested for the morning. We're going to go ahead and take our break now. Hopefully that'll buy time for Vol to get here. Hopefully I can take care of some real life issues so that they no longer bother me for the rest of the evening. And we will be back here shortly. And we'll remind Arthur when we get back what happened. So stay tuned, everybody. We're going to be about possibly 15 minutes. We are slowly coming back from our break there. Let me get the music switched out. Hopefully you guys got your little break as well. Thank you to Moomin and also to Jack for renewing their subs. Just in
Now,
case. Oh yeah,
I
and
was
you're
just,
here.
well, now my question is, what kind of common to language dictionary did Jack get?
One that's worth 50 gold pieces, that's what. Common to what language? I don't know. But evening hours aside, I guess morning finally comes. The break of dawn, as some of you have been told. Was this the room we were using? Yeah, here we go. Give you a private room there, Vol. And I think whenever you wake up, Christopher, Boris already made his way out.
Makes sense. So, let's see. Ultimately, it's the morning, so, like, they're out, and Vol kind of, like, just wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Vol slowly rises out from her bed, pulls out the beef jerky stuffed into her mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and then just will go through her usual morning routine. Cleaning her armor, shining it up, then putting it on after, like, putting herself to be more decent, fixing her hair, and then slowly just waltzes out, business-like, and then kind of just follows.
The exit.
Oh, I just broke through a wall. Don't mind
Sure
me.
did. Yeah, that's fine. They don't mind.
Oh yeah.
And then you see Arthur breaking out in a bead of sweat.
Just Arthur's like, oh my god!
Yeah,
She just broke through the wall.
I'll put us back on the ground level here.
Should I move Dead Meat back into the room?
No, don't worry about it. He's fine.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
I left him an @ message, so hopefully he catches that.
so, yeah, Vol's gonna just kind of fall behind whoever's ahead. So, like, if she's the first one up, she probably would just start, like, making sure that everybody gets a chance to get food. So she would walk over to the, barkeep and be like, hey, I'm here to pay ahead of time for breakfast. If you offer it, of course.
Of course we do, dear. Just a couple silver pieces per platter. How many are you needing?
Counts on her fingers. 6 in total, although, were there a bunch of crew people here? Are they just knocked out somewhere?
I don't know. One of their boys came around and slowly carried them off somewhere. Said something about counting sheets. Or threads or something.
Ah, well, if they were here, I would have paid for them as well, but guessing they're gone now. Just 6 for now, then.
And she'll set up 6 breakfast platters filled with all kinds of goodies that you can dream of.
This one needs to be extra greens.
Not a problem. Here's some more leaf lettuce. How's that?
Perfect. Brings it over. Hands it to Kronk.
I see Kronk has changed his name finally.
Janelle? Is that how you say it?
Good morning, Vol.
Good morning.
Kronk, we don't know yet.
Oh, okay. It's like, good morning, Kronk. Puts his Levy plate down. I hope you enjoy. Shell, I got you a plate too.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you
thank you.
for the breakfast. You can call me Juno now, though.
Oh, are you just doing a name change for a reason? I'm kind of curious since I kind of had to do something similar, but your reasons might be different from mine.
I just felt like a Juno now.
A Juno? What's a Juno?
I am a Juno now.
She's
I mean... Oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
No. She's just scratching her head in wonder.
I mean, Juno's a fine name, I would say. It's can be seen in a lot of ways. Like, I think some people would compare it to, like, rebirth, marriage, heaven. There's a lot of means behind it.
I do not know. I just felt like it was the right name.
It's a beautiful name.
I
I'll call
just
you Juno
feel
now.
like a pregnant teenager.
Oh no!
A popular comedy
Oh
from the
no!
mid-2000s.
Oh god, now you brought me back to my horror years. No! I know what you mean. But basically, Vol will just kind of refer, it's like, then, I understand you a bit more now. I'm glad that you like your new name then, Juno.
I think it will fit me for a while.
Let that good while be... Well, good. I already said it. Turns over to see Christopher before he sits down. Hey, Christopher.
Good morning, Vol.
Here's a plate.
Oh, well, thank you.
You alright? Or are you kind of just... You seem distracted.
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about last night.
I forgot about last night. I was just all thinking about jerky. I don't know why.
Do you remember that Boris fellow? We had quite the night of conversing.
Well, I'm glad you found someone you could chat with.
Hey, boss. I think he got away. Just lands on your shoulder, Dorian, just feeling defeated.
Well, I suppose so long as he's not here now, I suppose that we can let the matter settle. Although if he does rear his head again, we will find him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, boss. I'm on top of it 100%. That one fine gentleman told me last night that he didn't see him either, so I'm pretty sure we didn't... Yeah, he just slipped out like a slippery snake, that silly old goose.
Wait, first a snake, but then now he's a goose.
I don't know. Sounds like terms I keep hearing. I'm just throwing words together. Don't mind me, boss. I've been up all night.
No, apologies. I just the image of a snake and a goose in combination just entered my mind for a brief moment, and it paralyzed me for a second.
It sounds like one of those Canadian cobra chickens.
Yeah. Well, hey, Kronk, how's it going?
I am good, but you can call me Juno now.
Stares at you for a second, then stares back at Christopher. What happened? What? Why? What, is he? Why? Just because he got wings now? Is that what it is?
Well,
Hi.
if I'm remembering a conversation with Kronk previously, don't turtles normally go through name changes multiple times throughout their lives?
I've had many names so far.
Yeah, meanwhile, like Shella was like, did he just say Juno now? Juno now? Juno now? You can kind of like hear her mumbling that stuff off to the side. She's just trying to make it make sense.
I was known as Blard for a while.
Blard.
No, he fell out.
Oh,
call.
he fell out.
Hmm? What happened?
Oh no.
Kronk fell out!
Oh no, Kronk, come back. We need
Now on
stuff.
top of the shell.
Uh-oh. Well, let's prop him back up. Are you there, Kronk? Is he still out of the call for you guys or no?
He's back in the call, but he's not saying anything, so either his mic said fuck you, or...
I want to drag Dead Meat down just to see what happens, so he's not back, but I just want to see if he knows he was AFK. Dead Meat, did you ever return? You were an AFK. Just checking on you.
And my Discord's back up.
Hey, there you are. We get one of them back.
So I might have missed something after
Well,
he's known as Blard.
Yeah. We were just kind of like going on, like, Dorian's like, Blard, what kind of name is that? And that's about as far as we went. We were waiting for you to...
Oh God, no offense, Kronk. Oh, but Blard is an awful name. I'm glad you've changed from it.
You know now. You now know now. You need
Hi.
no.
I think I liked being called Omet the most, though.
Onyando Trumona. Shell is over here mumbling all your names as she's hearing them.
You see, I could easily get behind Omed, but Blard just sounds like you remember that what was it? That acidic cube-like being that we found in that dungeon? That seems more like something you would call a Blard.
Oh crap, I need to bring Chinook back. Walks away.
She forgot this whole time.
I mean, it's not like he needs to be there, right?
Sits down outside and starts trying to summon them back.
Welcome back, Arthur.
I was only called Blard when I was with my friend Glark. It's only because the names rhymed.
Doria just kind of like, I don't even... boss, I've been up all night. I can't deal with this right now.
So why don't you just take a small nap on my shoulder?
Yeah, I'm checking out. And he just mimics clocking out. Wings furl around his body. Now he is kind of like in a inactive state. I'll get you next time.
For visuals for everyone, is the fanny pack inside or outside of the wings?
He has the fanny pack inside. Like, the wings are covering over, right? So, like, he's covering over his front. What did you miss? Not much. Everybody's waking up. Though, I will say, Arthur, you've had trouble sleeping throughout the night as you've been waking up off and on at nighttime with nightmares. So, you might be a little sweaty or stressed out when you wake up. However, you still benefit from a long rest. It's just been hard to kind of like stay idle with these thoughts as Agatha haunts your dreams, as you kind of like relive that moment over and over for a bit in nightmares.
Okay.
But that's
I
about it.
expected nothing less.
Yeah, it's about what you expected. So, even though you got a long rest, you still kind of look and move tirishly, I guess you could say. Like, you're a little sluggish. But nothing that's going to detriment you at this point. Oh, hey, Arthur. Vo got us breakfast.
As
Oh,
kind of just sits down, looking around a lot.
Where
Almost-
did Vo go?
Where is she? Never mind. As he just kind of just grabs his dagger and just kind of just stabs into whatever. Eats it that way.
We should probably hurry to the docks soon.
Huh?
Where's? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Uh,
I'm just here
yeah.
to feel the air.
Where's Jack? I know he got drunk last night, or I think he got drunk.
Stop talking so loud. Jack has been standing against the wall at the bottom of the stairs, not moving, just rubbing his temples for the past 5 minutes, just dealing with this hangover.
Hmm.
This sucks. I mean, probably better than what the captain's dealing with. Still, that was a lot of good drinking.
Oh, Jack, we got breakfast over. We got breakfast over here. Sheila kind of finishes gulping down her food.
Yeah, alright, I'll have a quick bite, and then we better get to, the Quintessa. Deal with them.
Oh, and should probably go with him. And then he just kind of raises up his hand.
Yeah, also, I need to... Give me 10 minutes. I need to check something. And he's gonna take out the little Iron Fortress cube, because he realizes, hey, I don't remember what this is, and let's just double check it. So he's just gonna ritual cast Identify on it, just so he knows what it is. Just more in-game reason for us to be able to cast it and use it.
Yeah, this was one of the items we got from...
Yeah, the Iron Fortress. The one of the items from the September thing.
Yeah, that month that Star decided to get drunk and let you guys have everything. Alright, let's see here. What was this item called again? Exactly the...
Oh, Instant Fortress.
Instant Fortress. Okay, about to say, I can't find it under Iron.
Mm.
There
Oh,
it
did I
is.
say Iron? Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, that's throwing me off. So, yeah, you can use an action to place this 1-inch metal cube on the ground and speak its command word, which with the Identify spell, you can pick whatever you want it to be. The cube rapidly grows into a fortress that remains until you speak the action as an action, the command word to dismiss it, which works only if the fortress is empty. So keep in mind, if the fortress have people in it, you can't desummon it. The fortress is a square tower, 20 feet on a side, 30 feet high, with arrow slits on all sides, battlement atop it. Its interiors is divided into 2 floors with a ladder. Yeah, you get it, right? You get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely have access to all that information, and yeah, this thing is worth a lot.
That is going back in the bag. We're not gonna talk about it ever, especially around here. And it's not gonna be useful on the boat. That is good to know.
So what's the plan, my friends, as the morning starts to continue?
Probably one thing real quick.
Ooh.
All right. Christopher looks like he's about to get sick again.
Oh.
But he actually manages to keep it down and concentrate it more. So that it's not just this explosive thing in the morning.
Yeah, boss, because I'm trying to sleep here, damn it.
Yeah, so instead of a blast, it's just more like of a calm aura that spreads about the table. And yeah, so Jack, Arthur, Kronk, Shella, Vol was outside, unfortunately.
How much do we get?
Everybody gets 10 temporary HP.
Well. Ooh, that's pretty nice.
Oh, that wasn't as bad as it usually is.
Ugh, boss, you need to quit making noise like that. It's annoying.
Do you think I should ever tell him at some point that he looks adorable when he's sleeping like that?
One of the wings, talons kind of like wiggles a bit as if he was scratching his ear.
So that said, don't be too surprised if they're not all precisely ship-shape, as apparently they drunk far more than they usually do before setting off.
Well, they said at the crack of dawn, we better get over there.
Boris informed me that it would be much closer to, like, the crack of 12:30.
There's a crack around 12:30? Fair enough. We'll make sure not to step on it.
Sorry for the delay. I just remembered.
Oh, I do remember we haven't seen Chook in a while.
You know, they're usually so snuggly, I always forget. Then I just realized that they were dead for a while. Well, not dead, but gone. Sorry, Chinook. Pet Chinook.
Squeak, squeak. Don't have the bat noises in me this week.
Yes, presumably none of us have any other business to take care of before we depart.
I need to get my bag back.
Oh, that is right. Should we... No, yes. Body system, someone should accompany him.
Yeah. No, let's be perfectly honest. If I don't get that bag back and it is not as it should be, I will burn this place to the ground.
So who wants to join me?
This is a 3-man team expedition, is what you're telling us.
That's terrifying.
Could we perhaps not immediately resort to arson when we don't get our way?
Oh,
No.
I
mean, look, this bag is special. I know you don't get it, but it is worth burning a town to the ground. Besides, I mean,
as long as Arthur's in it, I'll be fine. Wait, what?
Alright, so Arthur, you're coming with, anyone else coming with to get it?
Oh, you said I'll be able to toss a fireball. I think I'll go.
No, Charlotte, you're staying here.
Oh, but...
Or with the others.
It'll be perfect. I can take care of my problem. Stares at Arthur.
Yeah, let's be honest. If you catch the fireball in there before or after I do get the bag, I'm not gonna save you when the Quintessa decides to kill you.
Oh,
so
I wasn't. Oh, well,
no,
fine.
Your
I'll
best
stay
interest. Here. Yeah, there we go.
I'll stay here with Jun now. Now.
All right, okay.
Christopher will send a message to Vol. Perhaps you should go with Jack, just in case he dies again.
Alright.
Says the only 2 people who can actually cast Revivify.
I'll go along. If he dies, you're right. Someone needs to carry him out. Vol gets up and starts to follow where Jack goes. Oh, hold on. Puts Chinook on Juno. Here you go. Walks away.
Juno now. Damn it, you got that song in my head.
I want to imagine that you just placed it on his head, so now Juno has a funny bat hat.
That was my intention.
There is a bat atop of your head, former Kronk.
Juno's just gonna smile.
Now he has 2 sets of wings.
And he didn't even drink a Red Bull. How about that? Alright, so 3 people going to the Quintessa. Everybody else just kind of waiting here? Is that what we're doing?
I guess, like, again, what time is it actually?
We're probably looking at about 7 in the morning, 7:30-ish. I mean, we can say it's 8 if you want to progress just a hair. Maybe it'll be 8 by the time they get there.
Like, unless anyone has comments to the otherwise, like maybe Christopher would like give it like an hour or two before making it back to the dock. And maybe by then they'll be back from their Quintessa run.
Yeah, let's check on that then. Alright, so Quintessa run it is, right? So... Apparently there's a cow on this. I think we were looking at Moose Truck at one point. So we have, not Cromp, but we have Arthur, we have Jack, and we have Vol. I stayed behind. Alright. Well, is there any conversation you guys like to have along the way, or do you just want to go there and get started?
This has no bearing on anything unless somebody pushes it, but Arthur will be being very jumpy at just about everything.
I mean, I can help you there. Hold on, I gotta see if the hairs on the back of your neck rise again, which adds to your paranoia. But you don't see anything, but you definitely feel a presence of Agatha.
Where is she? Where?
Who?
Yep. Does he come back to reality?
I don't
Let's
know,
see.
dude. This is on you now. This is where you get to roleplay how you want to play. I'm just here to screw with you.
Wisdom or perception? That's the hard part. You know what? Wisdom's lower.
Yeah, I think you should do wisdom if you're going to do that.
As kind of
Maybe.
continues to look around for a second and then immediately just snaps back. Wait. Oh, right. Sorry. God, what we were doing. And I forgot.
Vol raises an eyebrow. Thinking in the back of her head, I'm going like, thank God Christopher suggested I go with them. I don't think they're the only one I need to keep an eye on.
It's gonna be a long story if you want to hear it.
I like long stories. I'll share you mine. But should we take care of this business so that Jack doesn't look like he blow people up?
Yeah, priority should probably be first.
I just know that Jack has a face for murder right now. Is that bag really that important?
Yes, it is. And Jack would have put on the mask just in case. I was like, it's early morning, he has a hangover, he doesn't want anyone going for that bounty yet. But it's easy to say with what he said back at the tavern. Yes, underneath that mask is a face for murder. It is very important, because it belongs to actually Odie, and if I don't give it back to her like I promised, she will kick my ass and then kick the ass of whoever has it, which is them. And there's not gonna be a Jillian's Cove in that case.
Where you're tempting me for, aren't you? You're tempting the DM, aren't you?
So
Do
what
I
you're telling
kill
me,
today,
Jack?
or...
So what you're telling me, Jack, is that instead of owning up to the fact that the bag got messed up and trusting that your possible fiance would just accept that you made a mistake and willing to work through it, you're working with the mafia, and if the mafia doesn't work with you, you murder them because of the bag.
I mean, when you say it like that, it kind of sounds dumb. But basically, yes.
I've done far less for love.
Alright, let's go in then. Vol just strides in.
All right. Well, I hope you don't stride in because the doors are locked.
Basically, is like, damn.
Yeah. There's a guard there who's just kind of like, wait a minute, do I know you? And he looks at a piece of paper and looks at the top hat of a Jack. Are you that asshole cowboy?
Yeah, your boss is expecting us. Open the damn door.
No, intimidation.
It's fair.
That is definitely an intimidation if I ever heard one.
Yeah. 14.
I mean, I just work here. Look, if you want to go in and piss her off, be my guest. Doors
Lovely,
open.
thank you. And just walks in.
Yep, fair enough. And you guys can follow after. You could see a lot of the locations here. Like, this place is empty. It's morning time, right? Or perhaps maybe like the early morning loafers are finally leaving because they've been here all night. Probably a few stragglers, but most importantly, it looks like there's a lot of janitorial nonsense going on. And a very well-dressed gentleman who is lingering over here kind of like catches you as you walk in and says, welcome back. I think I've seen you here the other day, right?
Yep, bag is left here to get taken care of and come to pick it up.
Oh, that's right, the seamstress. I thought it was odd that she brought us a bag, but hold on. And he reaches around the counter, pulls out a bag. Is this the bag you're looking for?
Does it say coach on it?
I don't know. Let's take a look, shall we? Now, I'm going to roll something to see if I want to be an asshole or not. Damn, I wish I would have rolled that on the ship voyage. Anyway. It says coach on it.
Jack is going to take it to inspect it to make sure it is actually it, or at least it says it and everything.
Give me an investigation.
22.
Yep, you run your hands along the stitching. Yep, that's a C. That's an O. That's an A. That's a C. That's an H. And then you noticed a little bit of stitching at the very bottom right-hand corner. And it says, asshole cowboy. Very, very minute. But your sharp eye and investigation caught it.
So did the seamstress do all this following my advice, or did you take orders from your boss?
She just dropped it off. I'm handing it back to you, and there you go, my friend. Now, if you have a qualm about the order, I can definitely go see if Shang is interested in talking to you this morning. Though you have to understand, she came back a little unsatisfied last night and might not be a good time to talk to her just yet.
I only have one real question, and
Fair?
I'll leave her alone after.
Oh, you still want to talk to her? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, right this way. She's dealing with the talent.
I think she wanted to break that person's legs last night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You totally blew off her fun. Madam Shang, your asshole cowboy has returned. Ah, yes. You've received the bag, did you not?
Yep. And there's a little extra here at the bottom, and he points to the asshole cowboy.
Oh.
Did you tell the seamstress to do this?
I don't recall giving her such an order. Did you guys do that? And they look at each other like, oh, what, me? No, I didn't do it. Sounds like you need to make an insight check, Jack.
Yeah. Let's insight this nice lady.
Yes, she's very nice.
I'm going to Flash of Genius just to make it a 17.
You do that, buddy. You do that.
Yeah.
And I'll do one of these things called... Wow, it's not her forte for some reason. That's weird. You'll find that there's obviously an air of where she's purposely lying to you. Did not enjoy the fact that we put your name on it. I mean, we would not want you to lose your bag in case somebody was to return it to you.
He kind of smiles a little. Oh, you're a cheeky little shit. Like that.
I'm sure you'll find the extra was worth it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to find someone that can just take that off.
If
Easy
that's
enough.
what you wish.
Yeah, oh hey, so I can't use magic in here, right?
Would you like to try?
If, with your permission, I just cast one little spell. Nothing harmful, I promise you.
Oh, you can certainly try.
And I will make the attempt to identify... a ritual cast identify on the bag.
And
Just awkwardly sits there for 11 minutes.
Yep, awkwardly sits there for 10
and
minutes.
she stares at you for a moment. It's like, are you... What are you doing? You do... You know, you're wasting your... Oh, whatever. And
That's
yeah,
the best way of revenge. Just wasting her time.
Yep.
I have work to do, so you go over there and grovel all you want. As you try to attempt to cast Identify, the spell does not work.
Oh no, he does that for 10 minutes.
I know, right? He's wasting his time. She don't care. I have the
Just
talent.
as
to
a
do.
reminder, as I put in chat, 11
It's
minutes.
11
Because
minutes, yeah,
Identify is already a minute cast.
Yep. 10 minutes is the ritual, and then 1 minute duration for the extra on the actual spell. So yep, you spend 11 lovely minutes finagling this bag to make sure it is what it is. You do not identify it.
Alright. If I just put my hand into it, can I feel the fuzzballs?
Nope.
Hey, so why is this empty?
Probably because you're in an anti-magic field. Anything magical has no effect while you're in here for our own safety.
Your hairy balls are only magical outside of this casino.
I was more or less thinking about Vol's bag that has been stuffed to the gills, but I think that would just be the entrance wouldn't be there for her to grab. Like, it's still in the astral plane, but it's not. You kind of like if you were to make an attempt, I'm not saying you're doing this, but if you were, you would just reach into an empty bag.
I was about to sit there terrified and go like, oh no!
Yeah, like your stuff is hanging out in a dimension outside, but the gateway that leads to it has been temporarily dispelled.
Oh no, that means everything she... Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking they were being like, she just suddenly has to carry 500 pounds!
No. Like, it's stuck there. It's an empty bag at the moment if you were to check it. Like, I don't know, does Vol check it? Because, I mean, she did say you're in an anti-magic shield, right? Or field.
Vol doesn't mess with wizard shit.
Even though she's an Eldritch Knight.
That's why she knows not to mess with it. She knows!
At any rate, you'll find yourselves able to use your precious bag as soon as you leave our establishment. And I must advise you, we do not appreciate bringing your pets into the casino, so please make sure you don't.
Oh, I will not. I just had to double check. I know. I should trust you. And I can trust you, but I also can't in a way. You must understand that sort of thing. And he gets up, especially with
Yes.
something kind of dear to me. And
Well,
I'll get going.
You should definitely make sure you trust us, because if not, you would already be dead.
That is true. Though perhaps I can cheer you up just a little bit. With a little, it's very short anecdote. Something that might get you to smile. Last night, I accidentally paralyzed myself with a retriever head.
Your own devices are coming back to haunt you, it seems.
Well, it was not my device from that
But
Professor
you're
Ilosophagus.
the one trying to dump your garbage on me, thinking I know what to do with it.
No, I just thought you'd find it to be kind of
This is-
funny.
This is the reason why we don't mess with it. It's not ours to mess with, now is it?
Right.
Indeed.
Understandable. Gonna see if I can turn this into a neat little weapon or a helmet or a decoration I could sell
I feel
to
like
some dumbass.
yeah, I know
This-
you're conversing here, and I feel like you need to throw a persuasion out there just to see how this conversation's relaying to her. Like, is she getting upset? Is she okay with how this is going? What do you think? What do you think you should do there?
Yeah, I think I should flash of genius.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
brings you to what, an 18? Or
Yep.
okay. So she just kind of like poise a smile, lights up a cigarette, and just takes a puff and just shakes her head like, oh, this silly goose, right? Like, he's just going on and on about his ramblings, and she doesn't seem upset or angry at the least. If that's enough, I wish you adieu.
Have a lovely day, Miss Yu, and maybe I'll bring back a souvenir. And
Oh,
he
by
starts
the
to leave.
way, before you go, I don't suppose you've met my daughter, have you?
There's a pause. Oh, your daughter. No.
Yes, I've received such interesting news when I came home last night after almost burning the beard off a dwarf, but somebody, stares at Arthur, decided to pay for that. And then I got some lovely news as I was updated on some interesting information about an asshole cowboy she ran into.
I'm kind of curious now. What was said exactly?
Well, she's got this lovely sending stone that has been given all kinds of information as of late. Wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
I've been trying to get that back. You know, she doesn't want to give it up. I know she wants to talk to the boy. And I've been offering to give her one that goes directly to him. So she doesn't have to deal with the rest. And I know the kobold's real annoying. Trying to save her from that, but she doesn't want to budge.
Shella sneezes at the tavern. Feel like somebody's talking about me. Yes, well, I figured I'd just see if it rang any bells. But please, be on your way. A promise is a promise after all.
Indeed it is. Have a lovely day, and tell your lovely little daughter Jack says his hello.
Oh, I'm sure you don't want me to do that.
Sure, okay. And he just starts leaving. Let's get the hell out of here.
Oh, well. Alright, and just starts walking out.
Yeah.
I ain't messing with that.
Yeah.
Once I step outside, I'm gonna reach into the bag to see if I can feel the fuzz balls.
Right there?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I almost forgot.
Or, like,
Walks
down
back in.
Oh.
Walks back in. Grabs
Yeah.
Arthur. Starts dragging Arthur out.
Okay.
Arthur's just still smiling. He knows what he did last night.
Yeah. But yeah, you return with the group. Yeah, as soon as you get outside, the magical field that protects the casino no longer has influence, and you're able to reach in and you can feel a fuzzy ball in there ready to be grabbed.
Oh, my fuzz balls. Oh.
All right, the DM's gonna go ahead and call it quits here, guys, and you got the rest of it, right? I don't have to carry anymore, right? No.
All right, guys, I'll be
My-
taking over. I need everybody to roll initiative as the gold dragon descends from the sky.
Oh wait,
All
wait,
right.
wait. That's not for a couple of weeks. You're speeding things up. Hold on.
I've been prepared for this forever. Pulls out her bag of goldie and be like, I'm gonna crush this dragon's head with it. Presses the smiley button. We're going to war.
Dragon breathes fire on your bag of golding, and all of your money spills out onto the floor.
Did it kill Smiley? I hope not. I pressed the button.
You press the button.
Smiley pops in. Hey, what's good? Oh my god! Disappears.
yeah, like he doesn't hang around for that shit. No, all right. So, okay, I'm checking back in. I'm sorry. Let me take it back over. Give me that here. My screen. So you managed to have a lovely conversation with the Quintessa, and the rest of you are heading back to the tavern at this point, or what's the situation? Or conversations if you need to.
Alright.
That went better than I expected.
Yeah, but it sounded like their daughter started talking about you now.
Yeah, the daughter that thankfully apparently hasn't mentioned that you tackled her. Thank God the mom doesn't know about that. Hmm?
Well, probably a good thing that she wasn't a part of that conversation too, huh?
Yeah.
I think she might know, but I think she doesn't realize it's me.
Make sure it stays that way.
Indeed.
Hate to have your kneecaps broken out or anything like that. You might enjoy it. I had to stab somebody else.
They could try to break my kneecaps, but I probably would stab them first.
Need that. My kneecaps. I need those. Alright.
Why'd you take my kneecaps, guys?
I need those. I need those for walking. Now I can't walk straight.
But no,
But
because
you guys need them.
Yeah.
But
No
basically,
need
Volt.
to keep talking about it.
But basically, Vol's just gonna keep an eye on Jack with a goofy smile that he got his bag back, I imagine.
Mhm.
Oh, she's gonna be watching Arthur like a hawk because they're going like, all right, now that Jack's happy, this one might run away.
Hmm.
Oh, he still has a smile, but he's just gonna keep walking. Unless something happens.
I mean, you still got that sensation. And here's the thing, like, even being around Shang-Chu, even though she didn't do a summon or, like a seance of sorts, like, just knowing the nature of this woman, how she can reach out to the dead, you feel like that sensation's even more excited. Like, you could feel your hair's just literally tingling. Like, that notion of her being very near, especially being in a place where she could have appeared and had someone else to talk to, if not you, definitely rings loudly in your mind.
And as his kind of just snaps back to that, he's just smile drops.
Yeah, as you kind of like leave after your proud moment and you're still thinking about that. And then that finally hits you again. It's like, oh yeah, this ton of bricks. Forgot about that for a second.
Vol seeing this will just pat him on the back and just keep walking.
So while they are out and about, is there anything going on at the tavern that we're trying to accomplish before they return, or do we just want to let them go ahead and return? Go ahead.
Now Juno's just hanging out, waiting for everyone to get back so they can head off.
Really do have that itch to kill Arthur still, though.
There are some itches we do not itch.
But it gets frustrating, doesn't it?
I do not know. I've never felt the need to kill Arthur.
Yet. Yet, right? Yet.
That could be true.
Or perhaps you could try to ignore the itch by focusing your mind on something else?
Oh, that's right. I need to go practice. We're not going to get into any serious fighting today, are we?
Not that I'm aware, at least not out in the middle of the ocean. Although I suppose the job does require a certain amount of guarding of the ship itself.
Actually, that probably would be from yesterday, and then she'll have them back. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm resetting her steps. All right. Well, then, once we get on the ship, I'll start practicing my path. And I will try not to kill Arthur today.
That is a good start.
But being on a ship will make it easier. At which point the rest of you can finally come back.
Got my babies, I got my babies, I got my babies. And Jack just comes in all happy after that long kind of dreading walk. I got my babies back. Yay!
Thinking that for the past 10 minutes.
Baby back ribs?
I got my baby back, baby back, baby back.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, these baby back kids.
What were you saying, Christopher?
It's just saying aloud, like, I'm not used to Jack being this happy.
It's not safe.
We definitely should leave.
All right, so at this point, what's the intention of the party?
Clearly the party needs to leave before a bad omen calls upon them.
Uh-huh! We need to get on a boat.
Then the bad omen can happen. I mean, what?
Bad Chella.
So-
Bad.
What? I didn't do anything yet.
Shella, I know you're thinking about it, but no.
I mean, yes, I'm thinking about it. Thinking about all the ways to walk the path of the wind. That way I can burn my steps for the day and actually advance.
Oh, speaking of which, Vol holds her breath and burns her away in the winds.
Vol, are you falling behind again? Do I have to remind you? Remember, you can always come to me, your mentor, your sensei, as it were.
Vol doesn't talk because she's holding her breath.
It's okay, Vol. You could come to me if you have questions.
Like, for example, how to breathe.
You know, breathing requires opening the lungs and letting them out. Ooh. Yes,
Vol
see?
keeps holding her breath.
Vol, you're turning blue.
What matters is that I get to level 4. Keeps turning blue.
I'm gonna hold my breath until the DM lets me get to level 4. I mean, knock yourself out, kid.
Okay, hold on. No, I don't knock myself out, sorry.
Alright. For now. Because once you hold it for a certain amount of time, your constitution save does absolutely nothing.
I'm aware.
So, at any rate, as she's holding her breath, do we head to the docks?
Juno is going to compete with Vol on this breath holding thing.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
that's unfair.
Not fair! You're dealing with someone that has one lung!
No, fair. He has a ability to hold his breath for over an hour.
Technically, though, Star, if I hold my breath and I'm at 41 charges of being to use it, so I think that's the 4th level now.
41
Have I burned-
charges.
I basically burned 41 charges so far.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, let me...
So I think that's level 4. I don't know.
I'll take a look. I mean, I gave you the document too, didn't I?
I think so. That's why I thought 40 was the magic number.
And it is a good thing I gave it to somebody, because... computers. Yay.
You know, if I try to beat Kronk, I die.
Yeah, you would. Like, I don't even think you'd be able to hold it. You would be forced to breathe. Unless you're hell-bent on dying.
Breathe, Vol, breathe!
Come on, Vo, I need you to breathe. You're not gonna do anybody any favors if you die.
Even unconscious, she's like, no, no.
Vo, come on, you gotta breathe. It's not safe. I don't know.
Technically, Sheila could force the breath to occur. She just waited the winds to breath in.
Yeah, she probably could. Alright. Dear Lord, where did I put it? Nothing's ever where it needs to be.
I'll look it up for you, Star. Let me take a look. It's in the book.
What is it?
Breathing pain bow.
Pain, bro. Let's see here.
Actually, note to self:
Oh,
make
it is level 4.
item called pain bow.
All right.
Basically, usage to level. Level 2 is 10. Level 3 is 25. Level 4 is 40.
Gotcha. Where I might have to get that from you again. I think I might be able to get it from our previous conversation though.
Oh wow.
Like
Damage skills go up by 1d10 by level 4.
Yeah. Like it takes a while to get there, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like level 10 takes 300 uses.
Yeah, it starts to get crazy.
Alright, apparently now she does 2d10 damage with her thing.
Alright, there it is.
I just don't know the DC yet, so let me double check.
Yeah, the thing is like the DCs are still really low, easy to overcome.
Each level is... So currently hers is level 12 DC. Alright.
Let me see where Shella is on this hot mess. Yeah, DC 12 for Shella. She's already been on level 4 for a while.
I thought she had the way of
might
the
be level.
light.
Yeah, she's running light though. Yeah.
So it's like, if she could burn, it'd be like she lied.
Let me see where. Oh, she's getting closer to 5 though. She's very close.
That's 90 for what I was told.
Yep.
Alright!
She's getting there. Alright. At any rate, as you all kind of make your way to the docks at this point, or did we have other agendas to take care of?
I don't think so. I think it's just boat time.
Boat time it is. Alright. So as you make it to the docks, no surprise to you, even though it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, the ship is still there. Barely attended to.
Ah, yes, I suppose we did suspect as much.
Well, you know what this means, right?
No, we're not robbing it.
I'm not gonna say rob it.
We're not going to burn it.
Of course not.
We're not? Sheila
No,
puts
we're
her
gonna
staff
go
down.
through their shit and take a look at their private stuff. And get to know how the boat looks and stuff.
Is this how you literally ended up on the bounties?
As Jack is saying this at the top of the deck, you can see Boris staring down at you guys. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good morning, Boris.
Everybody's still sleeping in, I'm afraid. But if you want to go ahead and come aboard and set your things down, by all means.
So, would you like any help setting things up?
Oh, Sure, come on aboard and we'll get this set up. Let's go find you a place down below.
Hey, does the captain need a wake-up call?
No, she doesn't. And if you do, I will have to be forced to kick you off the boat.
All right, that's fair enough.
Nobody wakes the captain. That's a bad omen.
Yeah. Good to know.
I'd like
Anyway.
to chat with her when I get the chance, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'll help you set up.
Yeah. Let's go below deck then. Do I have a ship on this particular game? I do.
Pretty sure we've been on a boat before.
We have been on
Yeah.
a boat, yes.
Hold on, let's see what I got here.
Whether you have a map prepared for it still,
I
do not.
have something. Let me go ahead and drag us down to this. Like, I don't think all boats should be the same, so yeah, this will work, I think. Let me see here. Boop.
Yep.
Alright,
Everybody knows
first,
Anyways.
you probably can't see, right?
Ding!
Oh, wait.
It looks like
dynamic
the
lighting
inside of
is
my
off.
eyelids.
Dynamic lighting is off.
Kronk, that's terrifying. I don't like to think about that.
Hey,
This is what Kronk sees.
Open your eyes.
Try
Alright,
turning it
so-
off and turning it back on.
'cause I'm lost in your eyes because it's so fucking dark in here.
You guys really can't see or no?
Let me try to put
cannot
my
see.
token on. Nope, can't see it.
What? There's no dynamic lighting on this map though.
Is the
Let me
regular
refresh.
dark lighting on?
No, nothing.
Like, is everything hidden?
That's probably a possibility, but if it's a black screen, it's dynamic lighting, right?
Yeah, it's showing as dynamic lighting on my side.
Yep, dynamic lighting.
Let's see
Well, all we
here.
have to do now is give it a dynamic punch.
Bam!
Oh, you are now confused.
What was your question? What was your answer? What was your thing?
What?
What?
Alright, so here, we'll turn it on. And then I'll
Oh wow, I'm
turn-
impressed how I put that in the middle.
What, now you can see? There you go.
See it? No. Sorry, no, I'm actually impressed. I put it right on the middle.
Alright, everybody can see now or no?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. This looks like a very usable map for our boat.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. Yeah, that's a common one that usually gets sung. Let's see here. Hey, there's Boris. So I still had him on control save. Alright. So yeah, Boris will give you the brief tour and whatnot. Unlike the Firefox or Foxfire, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting the name of my own ships thanks to fucking modern browsers. The Foxfire, this ship is a little bit smaller. Boris will lead you down below, show you the guest area, so to speak. And he says you guys could pick a hammock down here if you want, and then just place your things underneath, or secure them in that foot locker over there.
Alright, I think Kronk needs his own one.
Yeah, over here, if you guys are looking. This is like the second level of the ship.
That is a curious name, I wonder. A foot locker.
Well, yeah, you lock it at the foot of your beds usually, and since these hammocks are at the foot, you know, I mean, there's no thread count involved or anything, but you know, it gets the job done.
Oh no, so you don't have to worry about that particular thing, Boris. Anything that would secure your items would never have a thread count.
Right, exactly. Like I said, nothing to worry about. And yeah, you can see some of the ship crew besides Boris. Like the rest of his mates are starting to wake up and making their way out from underneath the bottom of these dinghies, and they're just kind of like tossing them off and heading up the stairs and trying to get the ship ready. Yeah, some of the guys like a little bit more shut-eye, so they kind of like hide underneath the dinghies.
I see those are the beds of the lightweights. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as you guys are giving permission to set your things down, is there anything you guys want to do before the captain hopefully wakes up soon?
So I should expect that everything was already loaded, or not quite yet?
Oh yeah, we were done last night. She just wasn't going to leave until the next day. So, you know, crack of dawn and all that. She just says that because it sounds really captain-y.
So, well, it does certainly have a ring to it.
Kind of like stumbling down some of the stairs. You can see this woman kind of like struggling to stay onto the banister. And anybody who takes a quick glance in her direction, you can see like her hair is kind of like shifted in a way that's unnatural. And she kind of like, oh wait, we got guests. And she kind of like pulls her hair together and moves it as to try to even it out, kind of like doing her hair in an instant. I wasn't expecting of you so early. And she's like thinking about, wait, what time is it? Oh, ma'am, it's time to set sail here shortly. You just woke up right on time, ma'am. And she kind of like, Boris looks at all of you like, right?
Sure is, Captain Lightweight.
Oh, hush it, you scallywag. Very well, get the sails ready. Let's set sail. And she will go captain her ship. I would be careful if you want to stay on the ship. You might not want to provoke her, you know? Redheads and all. And Boris makes his way to the top deck.
Yeah, I know all about redheads. And botheads and gnomes and druids. And he just starts rambling as he goes back onto the main deck.
Right.
White hair, red hair, blue hair, yellow hair.
Christopher will
Green
just
hair,
comment,
purple hair,
really?
yellow hair,
Like,
green.
I feel like most of the women in my life have been like this, as he just like starts walking up.
Right. At which point, the anchor is weighed, the captain gets her ship together, and off they sail, and you along with. So we will be doing probably the first part of this voyage, and that'll be the end of our session for tonight. But the travel to the Southern Isles should take anywhere from 2 to 3 days, depending. See if we get any complications or some benefits within. But as the crew continues managing this vessel, you can see that she has a very smaller crew, but then again a smaller ship size as well, compared to other ships that you may or may not have been on. Why are we casting Sacred Flame?
Alright. Should we talk about what we might have to do over at the Southern Isles? Because I know what I might be doing if I try to figure things out.
Yeah, go ahead and have that conversation, guys. I gotta go look at my event table.
Well, the more important thing is making sure Janelle sees his aunt. And then I guess we could also deal with Shella and that whole thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
in my case, hearing about Patient Zero, we need to be swift on that. Like, I don't think you understand, Jack, but I will literally do whatever I can to stop anything like that, even if it leads to me possibly getting into trouble.
So this patient zero fella kill on sight when we get down there?
I mean, if there's a way to help them out, possibly, but if they're far too gone, that's the mercy we would need to give them because, well, let's just say this. It's not just finding them that's the problem. We need to figure out if they've done something that might spread it. So, like, if you see green bulbous plants around, we need to burn those immediately. 20 feet away, though, they explode.
That is
It's
good
not as though
information
this
to know.
particular group is short on supplies regarding flames. Just like says under his breath.
I have fireball.
Sheila, no, we're on a ship.
I know, but I can help.
When we're on land, you can help.
Right.
But I hope we don't have to slay them, but I'm not gonna lie, if I know... If they turned... Oh, no hesitation from me.
As the ship starts to make some headway on its destination, you do happen to see, like, on this one particular occasion, a giant warship off into the distance. But the captain seems unfazed as she says, "Oh, don't worry about them, y'all. Those are the good guys. They're here to take care of the waters."
Yes. Good guys.
I mean,
Are
would
you
you
referring
rather
to a
deal with
sort
the...
of-
I mean, would you rather deal with the Tazarath, or would you rather deal with the Fiery Tide?
I mean, we've already dealt with the Tazra before, so pretty much it'd be easy.
We
that
might
was-
have shared them.
Yeah, that warship over there belongs to the Fiery Tide. I actually know the captain. He's a pretty nice guy.
Are they similar to a coast guard or?
Oh, yeah, I guess you can call it something like that. Dear Lord, I'm starting to go southern with her accent. My apologies. I honestly don't know where it's at anymore. They
Like
tend
the
to
Southern
take
Isles
care...
are southern in more ways than one.
Yeah, she just starts speaking more southern because we're going south that way. But she just kind of like offers offhand information. They keep the waters safe for us as we travel. You might find them this close to shore. They might be further along. Sometimes we parlay with them in the middle of the ocean if we ever need to trade supplies or information.
So they're friends. I
Oh,
think we need
yes.
more of them.
Indeed. Well, welcome to the biggest friends you can find on the water, she says, as she just kind of like points to this big vessel that's still a ways out. If you ever get tired, you're more than welcome to go below deck. Otherwise, feel free to enjoy the sea breeze with the rest of us.
I mean, I'll just chat with people around. Not great with ships, so I'm not going to move a lot.
Fair enough.
I think I'll learn how to sail a ship. I mean, if I can learn how to fly an airship within an hour, I think I could learn how to sail a ship within that same time.
Are you assuming I'm going to let you get off my deck?
Well, into the water?
No, onto the poop deck, you shit.
Alright. Jeez.
Then, what do you think you'll be doing for your time, Christopher? And Arthur?
I think I might enjoy the scenery top deck, you know?
Well, I owe you a long story, don't I?
You do. Do you want to move below? She says as she has wobbly sea legs.
He
That's
just
fair.
kind of grabs under her forearm, just All right, come on.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so she begins. This is the story of a girl who wanted to drown the whole world.
Chinook, stay with Kronk. I mean, Juno. No, I said it right. Juno.
Shoo. Squeak, squeak.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying the laziness of the squeaks.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's just been one of those weeks, right? Like, I'm just
Wait,
defeated
hold on.
here.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Squeak, squeak.
Oh my god.
All right.
Ah, wherever you go, Arthur, I'll move.
Well, eventually, just kind
Yeah.
of guiding her down, he'll end up over this way.
Oh my god. I don't know why, it's one of the weak things I have. I wish I was like one of my other lady friends where she loves crazy things like this. Like, her name is Early. She's a furbolg. Loves water.
You can hear a dinghy kind of beating around.
Both of us, or
Yeah.
he's gonna move over real quick. Yeah, I had a friend like that once. Actually, he's still around, I think, as he's just gonna go out and look.
You can see the robes of Shella hanging out from underneath the dinghy that she's hiding under.
As he's
I
just
wish-
gonna
Go ahead.
smile. Oh no, where is Shella?
Perfect.
Oh.
They don't know I'm here.
Oh, I'm guessing she went upstairs. Let's go up together. Stomps feet by stairs.
Deception check.
Help me, Arthur!
Yeah, he'll be doing the same.
All right, fair. Advantage. 16.
Yay!
All right, me see if I think they're actually upstairs now. Eh?
Damn you, Shella.
She lifts the dinghy up and sees that you're both up there stomping around, and she's like, "Damn it!"
I don't think she'll do any harm.
I don't think she will either. Shella, would you like to join us?
No, I'm fine where I am. It's dark here. I like it.
There's a spider there.
That's fine.
I
Not
lied to
anymore.
Shella. Why?
No, there actually was.
Did she just... I'm not gonna acknowledge that. Just look back at Arthur.
He just kind of shrugs. Look, there's been a lot of weird things that have happened this week. I'm just not gonna acknowledge it.
You know, I
That's
think
a
that's the
little
wisest
bad.
choice. Okay, let me scooch over so at least that she won't kind of like hear everything and just kind of scooch. That'll give her a spot to sit if she changes her mind and gets bored.
That's fair.
Anyway,
Where to begin? Where to begin?
probably at the beginning. Or if you're feeling spicy, start at the end and then go back to the beginning.
That
Let's
gets
see.
confusing. I hate it when animes do that shit.
What the fuck is an anime?
Exactly.
Don't know. Oh, let's see here. As he kind of just sits back. Let's see, if we're starting from the end, I met a woman named Vol, and she started asking me about my life. Yeah, there's no real good way to talk about that from end to beginning. But
I mean, it depends how you do it, but I'm not picking how you do it.
good. And he kind of just sits back. Oh, well, I was born some 45 years ago, yada yada. And when I was about 6, I met someone by the name of Odium, who effectively raised me. Turns out he just wanted to changeling for God knows what. Well, no, I do know what purposes. Because, you know, when you change faces up the snap of a finger, they generally make for great thieves and killers, so.
Sounds like you would have been in the same scenario if you were a military brat or some kind of person that would have been in the military.
At least in the military, I wouldn't have been lied to.
Debatable.
Always said we were doing this for the chance at a better life, at the chance of potentially giving our children a better life. Well, the only thing I think that ended up happening was, let's see here, at least a good majority of us died. Me, Agatha, and another person by the name of Dunwick, short little feller. You probably never met him. He does like to stay quiet. But me and them got away. And, well, oh, when was it? As I go review backstory.
Full twiddles her thumbs, waiting patiently.
Hold on 1 second while I open up the biography real quick.
He pulls out a book and just goes like,
Ah, here it was. It was this.
Chapter 3.
How to Kill a Mockingbird.
First puberty.
Jeez.
God damn it.
We're getting there, Grump. We're getting there.
I think it was. Oh, I was in my early 30s. Sorry. Oh. But. Or, no, actually. Should probably back up real quick, tell you how I met her. Actually, really funny story. She just showed up in camp one day. Everybody was distrustful, including me. But she was harmless, so we decided, okay, you know what? Into a barrel, we move camp. End of discussion. So...
Wait. You put her in a barrel?
Well, it wasn't my idea. But... yeah, effectively. Anyway, she found us a second time. Figured, okay, just another fluke. Threw her in a barrel again. Rolled her into camp. Or rolled her into a town, excuse me. And... moved again. Third time, figured out what's happening. She knew how to track us.
And apparently it escaped barrels.
Oh, we didn't seal it. No, actually, I let her out each time. Should have been. Very much. Should have.
Oh.
Yeah.
So then that she would recognize you then. Or, quotations, recognize you.
Yes. Well, she knew how to track the camp, and from there... yeah. But... oh, where was I going from here? Oh, the third time, ODM kind of officially decided, you know what? You're obviously just going to keep track, us down until we either kill you or just decide, hey, we're going to let you in. So, instead of murdering someone in camp and have to move again, we decided, why not let her in? Turned out to be one of the few things that I actually credit him for being good at. Was the fact that she gave me a reason to be better than I was. Anyways, things happened.
What things?
A monk with the violent complex decided to do things, and I'd say less violent and more protective habits kept messing with our jobs, so we decided to go pay him a visit. Not to kill, but to more or less say, hey, stop doing this, or we're gonna start breaking even more things on you. Well, he had an apprentice. I never picked up his name, but he was a changeling too. I got distracted with him, and unfortunately, things got out of hand. And by things got out of hand, I mean Eleanor got her hands on a monk.
Right.
I don't think I need to say where that went.
It seems rather straightforward.
Well, after that, I kind of got out of hand with a sword and gave Odium a new scar right across the... what was it?
It's almost like you weren't ready for this.
You really, I wasn't.
Put him on the spot, Star, so you could be like writing down your notes. Go like, all right, he put the scar where the sun don't shine.
You stabbed him in the butt, huh?
Yeah, it was around the... I think it was across the face to the nose. I don't remember. Too many people around.
I mean, is it kind of like cut up like my face, or kind of like cut up in a more intentional way? Like,
No, I just
actual big scar.
kind of slashed and it kind of ended up from top of his forehead downwards. And from there, everybody else kind of started getting involved, so I ran. Thankfully got back before the rest did, got Agatha, Dunwick, and we left. We moved around a couple times, but unfortunately Dunwick got cut off from us, so we kind of went our separate ways. Come to think of it, we might be down the Southern Isles if it's quiet. Liked quiet. But I digress. Well, me and her ended up in Dragonspine. From there, we got a house. I ended up working as... I tried to do straight jobs. I first started off as a farmhand, then a barkeep. I tried a lot of jobs, actually. But eventually, monetary troubles led me to, well... I'm not proud to say this, but I kind of turned to killer for hire. I was trying to be as picky with my jobs as I could, but... well... you know how it is when work gets in the... when a need for money gets in the way.
Right.
I think in the end she actually knew. I just tried my best to hide and keep face.
Feel a cold hand, like if somebody was touching your shoulder, just like a cold grasp right there at your shoulder as you're talking, almost like if somebody was just placing a hand there.
And as it kind of does that, he just kind of reaches up to the where it's placed at. You didn't know, didn't you? Don't surprise me, really. You knew me so well. Anyways, work went on, and well, things got serious. We had brought up the idea of marriage a couple times, but not once did it actually happen officially. Actually, same day. Well, same day my past caught up. I was actually on my way to decide on a ring, but
Then the reason why you showed me what... oh my god, Kronk!
We will deal with that in a minute.
Back into momentum, so basically Vol's just gonna be like... and basically what you showed me happened. Of her.
yeah. Eleanor got her hands on her. I couldn't do anything.
There's a giant marlin hitting the side of the ship as you guys are having your conversation.
I'll assume.
Rough
And
waters? Oh,
Yeah.
go on.
And you know, you do manage to pull up a giant marlin.
I'll assume that either Kronk got something or something's bad in the side. We'll deal with it in a minute.
I'm not gonna worry about it. Go on.
anyways, yeah, things happened. Almost kind of stops for a second. And when I woke up, the house was a mess, to say the least. And I found her. Well, at the time I thought it was her. Pretty much a pile of charcoal.
That's heartbreaking.
I held hope that she was there for a while. But I buried her. And when I came to the conclusion that no, she was dead, he kind of just stops. Almost seems to stutter at his next words. No, to say the least, it was nothing short of clean. In fact, I just would flat out call it a rampage with me getting paid.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, I don't think. Oh, I won't judge what you did.
Oh, I didn't do anything yet, but I'm just feeling the fury of what I would know if I ever figure out the sick son of a bitch that ruined my country, or my city. I'm overthinking about it, sorry. Go on.
I don't blame you. Oh, wonder what would happen if I got my hands on her, but I can digress. Eventually, oh, I forget the total. Somewhere in the thousands ended up dead because of me. And eventually led me to take on a job for a cult, I believe it was. Which I think it was a cult in the end. Actually, yes, it was.
Telemite.
How do you know that?
I had to deal with them in one of my little tours. That was one of the reasons why it was difficult for me to get help to be able to resolve my issues. Plus, you said Timor, so...
I know them.
Well, yeah, right. It was a job to wrap up some loose ends. The Gregons, if you know them. As he just kind of waves his arm up and down as if to present. That's it. Arthur here. It was a clean kill, to be honest. Next one wasn't so much. But at the bloody end, she did.
You know, if I was still in the military, I'd probably be arresting you or doing something else. But now that I hear this and I'm not, I sympathize for you.
Well, at least I didn't go through with the last one. Just to... Oh, I think she was around 8, 9. I almost did, but I either saw something or just my humanity finally caught up with me. Couldn't go through with it. What I did go through with next, though, was separating the bastards' heads from their bodies, the ones that gave me the job. And now, as he kind of just waves his hand up again, I wear their faces. I told myself in an attempt to let them live on, but in reality, I'm probably just hiding.
Well, I'll be real. I wouldn't be surprised if people hide from you for having such a high reputation behind you.
Wasn't exactly careful. Actually, this was the face that I wore a lot. As he kind of snaps his fingers, And he's going to change into, and starting, I should talk about this with you before. He changes into a completely pure white creature. The only non-white thing about it is that his eyes seem to be purplish. What's the familiar purple? Along with that, several burn scars on his right side, on the left side of his face. A couple of what appear to be maybe sword slices, or maybe an animal attack on the right side.
So just bearing your natural form to her, basically.
Well, second natural form. Since we kind of agreed that changelings bore resemblance to doppelgangers.
If I didn't know that was you, I probably would be utterly terrified, but you already showed me a couple times already. And more importantly, I can't be surprised anymore in a sense, because I don't know. I actually don't know.
A lot of weird things have happened. The name Harkle has become synonymous with murder. At this point.
Let me just say this then, maybe. And I asked us about this last time, because I was kind of curious of the positive things instead of the negative. I already deal with that enough. You showed me how your wife looked when she didn't look horrified. How would you present yourself to her in the positive light?
As he kind of just thinks for a moment. To be honest, I've tried to forget this face, but kind of raises up his fingers, snaps, and pretty much all scars go away except for one in particular. A single sword strike from who knows what. That kind of runs down his right cheek.
Wow, this ship is lurching like hell!
I know, I'm playing with stuff, sorry.
I was sitting there like, conk!
Don't worry about it.
But basically, Vol's just gonna look at it and be like, Alright, Arthur, I'm gonna tell you this. Maybe because you definitely feel, to me, as someone that's been suffering way longer than I have. I imagine you have. But I feel, and I wish I took this advice more myself, but I feel the way to honor people closer to you, to help yourself, is always to think the positive things about the scenarios in such a way. Now, that's easier said than done, but for example, I understand why you showed that image, to show them the scars they left on you. And not just out externally, but the red fury inside of you. But I don't want you to imagine yourself like that, I imagine. I rather think you should imagine yourself as, well, what made you happiest, or what made the person that you're with happiest. If that form you have right now is the thing that had them fall in love with you, I feel like that'd be the better way to present yourself, if you catch my drift.
That is easier said than done, honestly. Again, when you've murdered the amount of people I have showing this face, body's not the worst part. Or the fact that just brings those up is the worst.
Fall will do one of the rare things that she never does, and she'll actually, like, put her hand on your shoulder, just kind of like to show that there's a connection, and be like, then I think you should be fortunate enough that you found a few people that can help you.
Oh, you also feel a chill where your hand is touching.
Sorry, that freaked me. Go like, what the fuck?
It's awfully cold on his shoulder. I don't know why.
Vol's face of like sincerity just turns from like, a nice, happy, relative smile to a like, huh. Hey,
Why the cold
was your
shoulder?
Why? Damn it, Star, why? He steals all our jokes, guys!
You weren't there yet, so I thought I'd help.
But basically she's gonna be like, man, I didn't realize you being this emotional would get your shoulder this cold. Like, do you need a shawl or a jacket?
Shouldn't be cold, as he kind of just puts his hand up there too.
Yeah, it's been chilly there for a while. You just kind of like grew used to it. And then as you put your hand there, it's almost like finger height, right? Like if somebody was grasping your shoulder and you kind of like blend into your hand in that location and you can feel the chill just creeping into the bones of your finger.
Shouldn't be that cold.
Should I try something?
What are you going to be trying?
I mean, I could do what Shella does with Way of the Wind stuff and see if something reacts.
Could blow hot air on her.
Maybe? Way of the Wind? Try to make a presence known? In a sense, like, blow some air and then see if something's actually standing behind Arthur about to break his neck?
Tell me how you wish to walk this path.
Alright, how I walk this path if I'm the way of the fire is that I will blow hot air in a sense similar to smoke and kind of just like create an outline of whatever's behind him. So kind of like...
Okay. So as you kind of like focus the energies of the wind and breathe it through the air of fire, air to fire, the path that you walk produces this effect that warms the temperature around Arthur. And as you do so, a hazy silhouette is seen basically because it's producing the cold air that's around Arthur at the moment. You kind of get the vision like there's a ghostly visage, kind of similar to this token right here, but you don't see it feel like it's hazy, right? Like it's just nothing but wisp, just foggy wisp that kind of like create the silhouette of the ghostly visage that is just kind of like touching him there on the shoulder. I can say words. I'm getting there. Okay, I'm done.
Oh god, this actually puts me in a hard spot because Vol wouldn't look in horror. That's the problem. Vol would look in like hot red rage. Kind of like just notice something there. And like shove Arthur out of the way kind of thing and try to like pull out a blade.
And as you kind of like shove and push him out of the way, the visage disappears. And that cold feeling disappears as well, Arthur.
As he kind of just taken completely by surprise by this, hits the ground, looks at Vol like, what's going on?
Vol's trying to like look around, trying to see if it's still around. Like, eyes focusing on.
As you kind of like have the path still active for the moment, you see like the steamy silhouette just vanished.
Bull starts to try to, like, calm herself down by putting away her blades, but kind of, like, red in the face. Sorry. Kind of, like, starts to bite her fingers a bit, try to, like, calm herself.
I think we could have had this every day if I went Phantom Rogue. Oh.
Imagine,
That
right?
would have been great!
I mean,
As
no
he-
one.
As he gets up, looks at Vol. Okay. What? I do need to know what happened.
There was a presence on your shoulder. Behind you. As if it was undead.
He's gonna actually think hard and long on this for a second.
Do you really have to, though? No,
And he's gonna
continue your
kind of take care of that. And he's immediately going to, and then after a second, I don't know if you want me to roll history or not.
thought. Like, what are you trying to...
My thing was like, does he know anything about hauntings or stuff like that?
I mean, okay. Let's be real, right? Like, this is the thing that mothers use to scare their children, or people tell at campfires, you know, like hauntings. Like, that's just common practice, right? Like, it's been embedded in fables that, you know, people get haunted by spirits all the time, right? Just to make it spookier. Like, it's mainly like a ghost story, but at the same time, you know, maybe there's some truth behind it. You've seen some crazy stuff.
Okay.
Okay, Mega.
As he kind
I
of
get it. You guys are ready for some action up top, right? No, go ahead.
think long and hard, and then after a second,
Again?
it's gonna immediately click. Oh, that would explain why. So,
What?
but what's she still doing here? As he's gonna immediately start pace. No, is it related to me? Is it related to something else?
Wait. Who?
So you remember yesterday how I just ran off without reason? Started shouting random things in Elvish and Dwarvish?
Right.
And
Kind of like... Oh, go ahead.
I swore I saw the face of my dead wife, right?
Her face kind of like gets a little bit worried. Right?
You do realize I'm going to have to kill her.
I think what you saw there was not a random ghost.
Oh. And Vol kind of just feels bad because he's like, I was about to stab Arthur's dead wife!
Oh boy.
Like, still be pissed off, but basically it's like, now she actually has remorse and feels bad.
Just kind of just walks over, just kind of hugs her.
Oh, should we go check the top deck as you share an awkward hug?
Awkward hug!
And, yep, so... Okay, I can't call you Kronk anymore, it seems. Janelle, you, managed to fish
Juno.
up a... Alright, Junie. You get a fish, you get a giant one, you get a giant marlin that you managed to reel in for no reason at all, and now you're preparing this fish dinner for everybody, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, and what about everybody else's reaction? Like, the crew themselves are like cheering Kronk on. Like, it probably took you a couple minutes to get that thing aboard the ship, and then the crew just cheered you on. But what about the rest of you up there, Jack and Christopher?
Jack
Kinda
is just
sleeping,
like,
or-
yeah, good man. Just claps a bit and just leans against the railing. Can't wait for lunch because I'm bored as shit right now.
Thank the gods, not another puffer fish.
Thank the gods indeed. All right. Anything else you guys want to do? Because that was a heavy scene. I figured you guys might want to stretch your sea legs as well.
You know, I didn't really think about what to do during the whole trip. Because I'm like really, really bored already. I
Oh,
don't think I brought any cards or shit with me.
we could play bones and teeth.
No. Oh, do you want? I remembered what I need to do. Are we far enough away from the coast that we can't see it anymore? Or
I mean, you're probably a good couple hours out, yeah.
all right, I gotta take care of this real quick. Just gonna go kind of up top here, away from everyone else. First, I'm gonna take Kennan's head out. So long, you dumb bastard, and toss it into the water. Let's get rid of that. And
Okay.
then take out the dead assassin out of the bag first so it plops onto the deck.
Why am I having deja vu?
Oh my god! The music keeps changing. It's going like from somber to upsetting to somber to upsetting.
Odie would be proud to know that I am feeding the wildlife. No, we are not chopping it up. We're just tossing the whole thing, the whole body just right overboard.
Yep, and as you do so, you can't help but notice a giant shark coming in to take the scraps off your hands.
Thanks, buddy.
And then
Oh god, did you loot the body?
I think we've already went through it. It was just a regular
there's
Joe. There was nothing on him.
Oh, you did loot the body then? I'm just checking because you might have poison.
I mean, Kennan's body's been ripped apart and looted for sure. And apparently now the ship has a school following it now.
Hey, look, extra protection. Oh, Odie would be so proud. Hey, buddies. He's just yelling at the sharks, just like, all right, now, that's all I had on me. If we're lucky, some more fish. We could probably catch some more fish and be able to feed you fellas too. And if we're really lucky, unlucky perspective, pirates could show up and could knock them off their boats, and y'all could have a feast.
He's having a conversation with shark, boys and girls. You do know they're sharks, right, Jack?
Yeah, of course I know they're sharks.
And they don't have a language to share with you.
Yeah. But I am out of practice with talking to squirrels, because I told Odie I would practice that. And I might as well practice talking to other animals, since there are no trees around.
So you know how to talk shark?
Fucking, I don't know.
I'm just curious, Jack.
Well, I'm hoping they understand my intention, that I'm friendly.
Alright. No, okay, if you say so, Jack. I want to go try this fishing.
I need to see this survival. I really do.
Alright, so Shella takes a rod, throws a line in. I don't know if she has bait on it or not, but we'll find out, won't we? She forgot to put bait on it. Even the sharks aren't interested. Huh.
Juno will give her some tips.
Oh, hey. Ju. Can I call it? Juno. Junano. No. Anyway, what am I supposed to do?
And Juno will cut off just a little bit of the marlin and put it on the end of her hook.
Oh, that would have helped. And she'll cast it back out. I guess she gets advantage now that she's got help from Juno. Hey, Croc, I mean Juno, there's something. What?
The Does Kronk just make things magical happen?
I guess, right? You see her about to get lurched off the ship. What do, Juno?
Juno will grab her by the scruff of the neck. Need to hold on strong.
I don't know if you know this, Juno, but I'm a kobold.
Juno will have one hand on her scruff and the other hand on the rod.
All right. So with the combined effort of Shella and Juno, the fish that we pull out is a mahi-mahi.
Ooh!
Yeah, I've actually been looking up some stuff for us to actually fish up.
This
This
won't
is-
kill Christopher.
A very good fish.
Wow, that looks impressive. I did that.
You did very good.
Why
Christopher
is it
starts running
red?
over. I heard screaming.
Oh, look, I caught an ugly fish, but it looks really cool. Wow, these things look ugly as fuck.
You don't have to look one up. I'm curious.
Yeah, look this
I
thing up.
ate it before. I've eaten it before. I just never looked at it.
They look like they got like this head that's just made for headbutting.
Wow, that's a very ugly fish.
I know, right? I would show you guys on stream. Just look up a mahi-mahi. But yeah, Shella and Kronk fished one of these bad boys out of the water.
It's like it smacked its face against the ship and got its face crushed.
And you know what? Let's see here. What are we looking at? That might be a good place to stop for tonight, too. So yeah, Christopher, you run over there, you hear him screaming, and then all of a sudden, they fish over this big old fish, and it flops on the deck. Oh, we did it! Juno! And high fives, Juno.
This will make for very good supper.
Is there anything Christopher said?
I
Yeah,
ran over
there you
here
go.
for nothing then. Right.
Oh, no, we're gonna have fish for supper. Do you want to help cook? Oh, boss, what the hell's up with all this freaking noise? You can hear Dorian starting to wake up.
What sounded like mortal danger was just dinner, apparently.
Oh, I mean, some of the best meals are caused through mortal danger. What are we having?
Point this down.
We're gonna have some marlin in for lunch and mahi for supper.
Yes, it's gonna be great. Damn, some awesome fishing from Shella and Juno. I gotta get used to saying your new name now. And with that, you guys are currently on your first voyage. I think next session we will get into the perceptions necessary to see if we can see those unicorns if they ever happen. But yeah, join us next Monday, 7 p.m. Central, for more Elsparia Trails to the Past. Almost sounds like asparagus, doesn't it? Any rate. And join us.
Asparagus, Trails to the Past.
Yeah, Trails to the Tail. I don't know. But join us next week, Sunday, or not Sunday, but I'll get my days mixed up. Wednesday at 7 p.m. as well, we have the Lost Mines of Fandelver. I have been told that we're going to find them this week. I have it on good authority that the mines might actually be reached. Maybe. Perhaps. Unless we have to draw up new arcane casters. So we'll see what happens. Also on Friday at 6 p.m. Central, we have our open role play. If you want to play D&D with us, some of these fine players are also playing on Friday. You can hit !help to get information on how to do that in the Twitch chat. That will give you the link to the game, a link to our Discord where we do the voice chat, and you can also follow us on Twitter, because why not? Join us on Sundays for our sub RP. Let me see here. We have a command for that now. Go ahead and type that out. And if you want to play D&D with us on a Sunday, it is a sub-only campaign. So if you are subscribed using the monthly tip on Streamlabs, instructions are posted in our Twitch page by typing !sub-RP, one word. If you're over on Facebook, I suggest you come over to Twitch, check it out, chaoticcalling.tv or twitch.tv/chaoticcalling. And yeah, a lot of these players are also playing in that game as well. So if you want to play D&D with us on 2 different occasions, you could do that. And let's see here. So there are a couple charities coming up. November 8th through the 14th, we are doing a collab with the Wounded Warrior Project, where we will be turning off our channel points, and it will be donations throughout that week in order to use anything channel points will give you, and everything that you donate will help promote the Wounded Warrior Project and get them the money they need to help our troops get over whatever it is they need to get over. Like it's a rough world out there. Let's see here. And in December, we're going to help St. Jude's on the 10th through the 12th. We have 3 one-shots lined up, and we are going to do the open role play and the sub-only role play. So the schedule is going to be kind of the same. So if you want to sign up to be a part of those games, the link is in our Admiral channel. Look through pinned messages. You'll find a spreadsheet. Just go there, fill out which one you want to be a part of. And you can help as a player, or you could be a viewer and help donate. Same rules. We're going to be using donations where our channel points normally would have worked. Let's see here. What else do we have? I think that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's it for now. Join us next week on Monday, 7 p.m. for more of this lovely group. And say goodnight to Twitch and Facebook, my friends.
Good night.
Jenny.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
There we go. Everybody got their good nights in, and we're going to go raid somebody. So if you want to get some more channel points, hang in there. And let them know, do they hear the calling? The chaotic calling. Stay tuned.
Dream hobby. Today I attend a free workshop with